Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Sue, your Oakland special election mayoral candidate. Well, we have a big name who is possibly going to be entering the Oakland mayoral race, and she has a little bit of time to do it, and that is outgoing retired Congresswoman Barbara Lee. Yes, she is a resident of Oakland, and she is considering running for the Oakland mayor's position. And she just stepped down from her position as congresswoman for our district, District 12. And there's a lot of people. There's a petition going around, much like what happened back in with Ron Dellums back when he became mayor in 2008. And the funny thing that there's a big difference, though. Barbara Lee is considering the possibility of running, whereas back then the Ron Dellums push for Oakland mayor had a different context to it, because it was a sentiment by the community of color going against Jerry Brown, who caused a lot of harm in the city of Oakland and took away a lot of funding and projects for the Black community. And so there was quite an uproar and outrage over that. And then that's why folks really wanted to get behind an Oakland politician, and that was Ron Dellums. He was retired at the time, and Barbara Lee had taken over Ron Dellums' seat at congressional level, District 12. So I bring that up because way back, if you weren't an Oakland resident back for the Ron Dellums campaign, it was very different. And like I said, it was a protest against Jerry Brown. And there was a lot of people in the city of Oakland that were fed up with the white politician. And so they were going to ensure that there was not going to be another white politician in at the helm of the city of Oakland again. So they went after their favorite politician back then, which was Ron Dellums. And so this is the case right now, because there are no real big names and hasn't been any big names since Jerry Brown in the Oakland political circle. And so this would be something that's really different, bringing, if Barbara Lee decides to come in. And she has a lot of support right now by a lot of Oaklanders. There's half the city council supports this. There are a lot of city workers that support this. A lot of city advocates are supporting this, and just she's just getting a tremendous amount of support. So the previous front runner, well, what can we say? And Barbara Lee automatically, if she decides to file the paperwork and file her nomination paperwork, will become the front runner for the Oakland mayor's race. But my question is, what does, if we put her in, what does this really actually do? What has she done for the city of Oakland historically? And I went looking, and what I did find, she was she had authored 67 bills in Congress. A lot of these around California school hate crime laws, and then California Violence Against Women Act, and she was also instrumental in helping to defeat the California Three Strikes Law. And those were the main points that I could find entailing her career. And so sadly, I just don't see anything where Barbara Lee could really turn things around in terms of the crime, because while she sponsored some things, she's really not done anything about the crime, because we see a tremendous amount of crime here in Oakland, and it's, while it's dropped some, but that's because of the assistance we're getting from outside of the Oakland Police Department, and that's the main reason why crime is dropping in Oakland, not the fact that Oakland police officers are doing a better job. No, in fact, they're doing a worse job, because their hands are greatly tied on a lot of things. Just like what happened to myself. My business was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of the night in a takeover robbery. And there were 8 criminals with weapons pointed at us. We didn't know if we were going to live or die. And so anyway, Oakland has a 5-minute armed robbery response policy. Do you think they responded in that time frame? Mm-mm. And we had a person talking to 911 dispatch, and it still took 40 minutes. Yes, 40 minutes. They didn't find our person because that person was secured in our panic safe room. And our panic safe room, because of the times, we literally made this safe area bulletproof. Literally, we made it bulletproof using 6x8 railroad ties as the stops for the bullets, 3/8 steel plate, 5 feet up the wall that back up all of the railroad ties, and that's what lines are the walls, so that you can't enter the panic room. And then same thing with the door. The door is heavily fortified also. And sadly, businesses are going to be needing this in the near future, because if it wasn't for that panic room that we had, I may not be here today because of this robbery, because they were trying really hard to enter these rooms, and we had them so fortified that they had an extremely difficult time. They only were able to enter one room, and that room was a control room with pumps and meters and gauges and the like for our operation. And there's no money, because they were asking where the money was, where all the dried weed was, because this site, once upon a time, previous to us, was an illegal cannabis grow, and as was pretty much every building here in this area. And so City of Oakland shut down for almost everything here in the area. There's still one cannabis grow at the former bus site. But anyway, getting back to what Barbara Lee brings to the table. Does she actually bring anything to the table that's going to be a benefit to Oakland other than her name? I don't see anything really changing, because Oakland has so many problems, and somebody has to step up. And with this election, because it's such a weird place and time, there's only going to be 17, 18 months before the next election. And so the person, whoever comes in here, is either going to just be business as usual, or they're going to be able to change the City of Oakland. And what City of Oakland needs to really change things around is an exciting project. And that's what's going to bring new excitement and interest, money, and investors into the City of Oakland. And that's a plan that I've put forward, but yet nobody seems to want to move forward on that, even though it is worth billions of dollars over the course of its life. And so the other thing that Barbara Lee was really famous for, and at the time she had either you loved her for her position or you hated her, and that was back in September of 2001, also known as 911. She was the lone no vote in when we were talking about going after the terrorists. And she was the lone no vote for Saddam Hussein's invasion, because he was siding with terrorists. And so we decided to go and knock down that terrorist organization. But Barbara Lee was, like I said, the lone no vote on that for 911. So she took a lot of heat for that. And I do have to say I respect her for her position, while I did not agree with it at the time. I still don't know if it was a right decision or a wrong decision, but it was a decision that she chose. I've not supported her in her time as a congresswoman here in Oakland because of that. And there may be a lot of Oaklanders that feel the same. But some of the good things that I found on Barbara Lee: she was born and raised in Texas, but she moved here to Oakland. While she was going to school, she attended Mills College. Remember that name, in East Oakland? That was just a short distance from my home, where I grew up, because I was born and raised here in East Oakland on 64th Avenue. My parents went from the flatlands of 64th Avenue into the hills at the top of 64th Avenue. So Barbara Lee attended Mills College and also UC Berkeley. So she is locally educated. She has a home here in Oakland. Lee was elected to House of Representatives in a special election to succeed Ron Dellums, who had retired. And in recent elections, Barbara Lee ran for a Senate seat. The late Dianne Feinstein's seat, and she lost to Adam Schiff in the November election. So she has been very active, and she wants to stay in politics, but then she retired from her seat and has come back to Oakland. So now there's likely a great possibility that Barbara Lee will be running for Oakland mayor. Whether she's going to be able to fix the sinking Oakland ship or not remains to be seen. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.